Senator Cortez Masto from Nevada is recognized from her office.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Undersecretary, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just say, I agree with Senator Daines that this issue really is bipartisan. It should be always when it comes to the needs system. And in that spirit, that's why I look forward to voting for the 5 Federal Reserve nominees this afternoon. We need a full Federal Reserve Board to bring down prices and promote full employment and wage gains, and we really shouldn't pay politics for that. Let me say, Mr. Chairman, thank you for this hearing. It's such an important issue. I also appreciate the ranking member laying out his principles to talk about developing a legislative framework for stablecoins. It's such an important area, and I think it's an area we need to focus on. So, Undersecretary, let me start with a couple of questions, and I'm going to follow up on Senator Daines' questions to you about which agencies are responsible for the oversight right now of stablecoins. Are there any federal agencies that are responsible right now to ensure that stablecoin issuers are adequately backed?
Currently, stablecoin issuers are backed by either are regulated by state money transmitters licenses or state charters.
So right now, there's no federal agency looking at whether they're adequately backed. It's state agencies. That's if the states have some sort of regime for that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then, and it goes back to what Senator Van Hollen had said. Some states have it, some don't. So there is patchwork there. Let me ask you this: with respect to stablecoin and cryptocurrency, do they always have to register as a money services business under FinCEN's federal regime?
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you, because last Congress I worked on the FinCEN Improvement Act, led that bill, and it was important that we gave FinCEN the authority over cryptocurrencies and other technological financial payments for this very reason. Do you feel that FinCEN has a robust framework to prevent and sanction illicit finance when it comes to stablecoins or any cryptocurrency?
Yes. Yes. FinCEN. So registering as a money service business under the state transmitter license triggers a number of FinCEN regulations: AML, BSA, AML, CFT regulations. They've been working on this for many years. Some of the initial guidance on what was called virtual assets came out in 2014. They lead some of the international work. This is an area of strong focus. They understand and want to enforce have a stronger implementation and enforcement. As I understand it, some of the issues are related to activities abroad, exchanges abroad, and with the Financial Action Task Force, they are working globally to try to improve implementation. This is an area also for the administration more broadly, which they are working on and will be announcing more work on in the coming weeks.
Great, thank you for that. So let me go back to the report that the working group put out. In some of the prudential concerns, one of the areas that you've talked about is to address additional concerns about systemic risk and concentration of economic power. And then in there, it states supervisors should have authority to implement standards to promote interoperability among stablecoins. Can you discuss the interoperability piece of it and elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So one of the 3 prudential risks is this possibility of increased concentration of economic power. This has to do with the network externalities of a payment system where there are greater benefits if everyone is part of the same payment system. So if you have large firms, the ability to scale up a payment system could potentially increase market power. One way to diminish or to offset some of that unwanted increase in market power would be to promote interoperability among stablecoin issuers. And that just allows for consumers to exchange one stablecoin for another, so to speak, and allow them to interact with each other so you don't create a number of different sort of closed loop systems.
And I know my time is up, but I would imagine that there's going to be issues with respect to the standardization of that interoperability that we would have to address.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a complicated issue of which more discussion would definitely need to be taken.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Cortez Masto. Senator